Hey, awesome flatters. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about my new default pick for entry level Flathead. And I'll explain in detail what that's going to mean. But first, we're going to talk about something even cooler than that. And that's this hat. That is that. This hat is that. That hat. This. Look at it. So a few things about this hat. Only 500 of them were made. So that means me and 499 of you are gonna be hat buddies, but that's it. 499 of you, not one more, not one less. And how do you get this hat? Well, it turns out that first 500 people to get a pair of these gets the hat completely free. In fact, I would go as far to say that the hat is so cool that you're getting these for free and you're buying the hat. So look at this hat. It's got the Flat Audio logo on the front. It also says Flat Audio on the back. And look, it's a flat hat that makes your head flat. It's a flathead flat hat. Flathead flat hat. Oh, and it's also got one other cool feature. The top of the hat, the flat part of the hat, is designed to look like the cover of an MX500 earbud. You see that? It's basically a giant MX500 cover. So again, me plus 499 of you are going to be connected via this hat. Before we continue, I'm going to, give out a little bit more lore and stuff behind this, because this is a new brand. Flathead Audio, completely new. I actually heard about it as it was starting up and as they started working on stuff, and they have more stuff on the way. But we're going to talk about mostly the first earbud that they've made, the FH01, in this video. So Flathead Audio, he's a homie, in the community, loves flat-headed earbuds, and this is his work. It's just a passion project. Just in general, like for example here, like this is a $35 earbud, and their goal for this first earbud is to provide a really solid generic entry point into the flathead hobby. Unfortunately, we don't get a lot of earbuds in this hobby. It's not like IEMs where you get a new IEM or two, every hour. And most of them are nowadays are well tuned and well done. It's very hard to find a just bad IEM. If you know kind of what you're looking for and you have a budget, you can find something within your budget that should suit your preferences. But with flatheads, unfortunately, we just take what we get. Not many options. So for this guy, goal was well-balanced tuning with decent performance that's versatile and easy to recommend and enjoy at a good entry price point. And I want to say that they delivered. Price on the FH01 is $35. Includes shipping and the hat for 499 of you. At this price point, I doubt that they're even making enough on top of this to buy a Baja Blast. I feel like any sort of profit here is a very small margin, just tiny. So one thing here that I guess I didn't really realize that I kind of miss on other flatheads until I got these is the branding. It says Flathead Audio on the box and then Flathead Audio on the case. And guess what? It says Flathead Audio on the earbuds too. A lot of the DIY earbuds, like you get the sound, they build performance, but it takes a little bit extra to get the whole cohesiveness of the packaging and the brand done. And honestly, just sometimes it feels like it's probably not worth it because it costs more money. With this earbud, they were able to get it done and still keep it at a decent price. The earbuds themselves are very, very light. They're standard, MX500 clone shells. Cable is also pretty light, a little bit stiff, a little bit of memory, not much, just what you expect. These do feel, on the more budget side of earbuds, but still decently well built. You get a nice little carrying case that has a little clip on it as well. The case is semi-hard, and it goes along with the red-blue theme that we have here, which is I really like. I appreciate this aesthetic. One of my favorite aesthetics with the audio hobby is when there's a little bit of red-blue contrast, or at least two contrasting colors in the design. I really like the idea having one color on one side and then a different color on the other side. And then just the red blue reminds me of Mega Man and Proto Man or Zero. So that little contrast, I love it. What other red blue things are there? There's like Pokemon, you know, red and blue, like the original OG games. Like what else is there? What does red and blue remind you guys of? Like, go ahead and leave it in the comments. There is a cable clip and also some foams. I think it's like 3 pairs or 4 pairs of foams, and the cable is a 3.5 termination. So overall, it just feels like, you know, a cohesive product. Packaging, branding, the theme, color, aesthetic, it feels like it was, you know, well thought out, put together. Something we take for granted, but I really appreciate. Let's go ahead and get into some sound impressions. Long story short, if you've ever heard the Yincrow X6, this is basically an upgraded version of that for me. I do really like the Yincrow X6, but there was a few shortcomings and nitpicks I had with that Flathead, but this set completely fixes them for me. For example, the bass presentation is about the same as the Yincrow X6 in quantity. Quality is quite a step above though. The FH01 has a good amount of impact in that sub bass and mid bass. Has a nice clean thump, pretty tactile, which is something that I feel like non-flatters might find a little jarring when they first try flatheads. You come from IAMs or headphones to flatheads, a lot of them tend to be a little bit more anemic. So I do appreciate how this set still focuses more on the bass. That way, if it's somebody's first earbud, they're not, you know, completely turned off by it. Bass does extend decently well. I always get, you know, good fits with MX500 shells, so bass presentation is pretty good for me. Might be different depending on your fit, but sub bass extends decently. It does, you know, roll off a bit, but decent rumble above average compared to other flatheads, at least in this price range. Sometimes that impact can be a little soft or pillowy, really depends on the track, but because it does have a little bit more quantity to it, sometimes it is a little too poofy. Shh. Is that how you pronounce it? Shh by IU has a rich bass line, and with this set, it's really lush. It's nice, tactile, though the mid bass, the impact, like I mentioned, can be a little poofy, fluffy, pillowy. I don't know, take your pick. It feels like there's a little bit of a cut in the lower mids of just past the mid bass, because vocals and mid range overall is a little dry. Not too bad though, like there's still an okay amount of note weight. It's not like they're thin or too superficial, but they do have a little bit of that dryness to it. And male vocals sometimes are a little too in the mix for me. It's not like I want them to be just completely emphasized and pushed forward, but on busier tracks, especially stuff that's like more mid bass heavy or lower mid busy, the male vocals are just kind of in there. But lucky for me, I don't listen to much male vocals, and female vocals on this set are pretty good. Upper mids are pushed up a little bit, not too much. Sometimes with my music library, they can feel a little shouty, not piercing, just a little intense. But overall, mid-range has good contrast. It feels separated from the bass, so bass doesn't feel like it bleeds in that much, if at all. Like in Chocopate by Azalea, it is a very busy track, you know, mid bass heavy. There's good clarity here, and the female vocals stand out. They're not, like I mentioned, they're just slightly nudged forward. It's not like it's just completely piercing and focused on female vocals. You can enjoy the entire bass range on this set, on this track, but still get the female vocals up there. Should check it out. It's a pretty good song. And as for the treble, it's safe. You know, it's not harsh, sparkly, little toned down. It does tend to roll off a little bit. I think it's well done here, because a lot of flatheads, like I mentioned, when you lose the bass, depending on the fit or just the tuning overall, because it's just the nature of the transducer, flatheads are open, they lose some bass. It also tends to emphasize the treble, the harsh frequencies a little bit. So it seems like that was taken into account here. The treble is safe, a little toned down, so it doesn't get harsh or sibilant. There's enough for clarity, it just lacks a little bit of bite, which overall means for, you know, lower fatigue. Like this is a really easy, just long session set. But for example, in, let's see if I can even say this right, Akuhono Okite, which is by Lisa. I believe it's Lisa. I didn't write it down. The cymbals are on the duller side. they still have texture. Feel some of the grittiness in it, you know, some of that ripples in it. It's just not sparkly or splashy. So overall, it's good. I really like the set. I actually really love this set for the price, for what you get, and for what it means for the community. It just overall feels like a really good and direct upgrade to the Yincrow X6. I feel like if you try something cheaper like the Vido and the MX500 shell fits you, this is a natural upgrade. Now, like if you know that the MX500 shell fits you, you're comfortable with that shell type, this should probably be in your arsenal of flatheads. It's a decent set. Like it's just that good for the price. I really think that it competes with stuff that's like twice its price. There's a lot of stuff that is under $100 that I would not take over these. They really nailed the tuning on this for me. For example, a couple other of my highly recommended flatheads like the Ventraletronics Master and the Dunu Alpha 3. Dunu Alpha 3 has less bass than this, less thump, less impact, and it's a little bit more airy, a little bit more trebly, sparkly. And then the Master, while it's very neutral and mellow, it's also kind of more muffled. Sounds a little bit boxy, a little bit more veiled overall, all throughout the frequency response. FH01, check it out. Highly recommend. Also free hat while supplies last. I was told that they made 500 of them. How many of you guys are going to get a hat? I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description if you guys want to go check the set out. If you enjoyed the content, please consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel for, more awesome content in the future. And until next time, I am Awesome Danny, and you stay awesome, friends. Bye.